Good evening. I'm Dr. Jose Philip Alvarez, consultant gastroenterologist and endoscopist at the Victor Hospital, Margam. Today, our whole world is just talking of COVID, and we know that it's the most serious problem presently. But don't forget that although we are so much focused on COVID, there are a lot of non-COVID problems still happening. And I am going to share the common gastrointestinal and liver problems which are happening recurrently and on a regular basis in Goa. So let us start with the common problems in gastroenterology. When we talk of GI and liver, we are talking right from the mouth, the food pipe, the stomach, the intestine, liver, pancreas, gallbladder. So let us start with the food pipe. Once we eat the food from the mouth, it goes into a long tube which is called as the esophagus. Now, if you have got problems in the esophagus, the usual complaints people complain are of burning in the esophagus. Sometimes they complain of difficulty in swallowing. So I'm going to show you a few examples. Now, this was a patient who complained of heartburn and belching. His doctor, I keep on getting burning in my chest. To find out what was the reason why this patient was getting that recurrently, we did an endoscopy, put a flexible tube in the mouth and saw the food pipe. And look what we are seeing. Can you see the white thing right where the marker has been put? This is called as esophagitis, and these folds are called as a hiatus hernia. So this patient had something known as a reflux disease, which is very, very common. 1 in every 10 people has got a reflux here. And what are the usual complaints of a reflux? They say, doctor, I get burning in my chest, or I get sour taste in my mouth, or bitter taste in my mouth. Sometimes they can come with chronic cough. How to prevent this reflux? Because that's the next thing what someone will ask, doctor, I keep on getting burning. How do I prevent it? Very important. Don't eat too much at one time. Our stomach has a capacity. We can't overeat, because if you overeat, then the food can reflux back. Or avoid citric food. Citric foods are like lemon, lime, tomatoes. So in case somebody is having a burning in the chest, it's better to avoid this, including onions and garlics. Avoid aerated drinks like Coca-Cola, Fanta, soda. Do not wear tight belts, because if you are wearing tight belts, you are going to compress the stomach. And if the valve above the stomach is loose, then a reflux can occur. It's a good habit to use a pillow for people who have a reflux. They say the bed should be elevated to about 30 degrees from the baseline. And do not sleep immediately after eating. So if somebody is having a burning or regurgitation, then remember, moment you eat, don't sleep. Wait for at least 1 to 1.5 hours before sleeping. And in this way, we can minimize the heartburn and reflux. And in case someone is obese, it's a good habit to lose weight. I'm coming to one more food pipe related problem. Now, this was a 53 years old person, and he complained of difficulty in swallowing. Remember, difficulty in swallowing means something is grossly wrong. So to find out why there was a difficulty in swallowing, we put a camera inside. It's called an endoscope, and did an endoscopy. And look at this thing, lump in the food pipe. This is cancer of the esophagus. We see about 5 to 10 cancers of the esophagus every month in Goa. Why does it happen? What are the causes? The most important cause is smoking. Smoking can cause multiple cancers, including cancer of the food pipe, excess of alcohol, obesity, or drinking extremely hot coffee and tea. Sometimes we are late for the office. We have got a glass of coffee in front of us and it's very hot. So what do? You just gulp it down because you have got to rush to reach your office in time. That's a mistake. Because extremely hot coffee or tea keeps on burning the throat. And recurrent burning of the throat will one day result in cancer. Please desist from this habit. Now, I have finished food pipe related two common problems. One is cancer and one is reflux. Below the food pipe, we have got the stomach. So, I'm going to show you a few examples of people with stomach problems. Now, this was a person who complained of burning. He says, Doctor, I keep on getting burning when I eat my food. So we did an endoscopy to find out why there was a burning and look at this white thing what you're seeing in the stomach. This is an ulcer in the stomach called a gastric ulcer. Like how it can occur in the stomach, this type of ulcers can also be called duodenal ulcers. Why do they occur? Smoking again is one of the culprits which can cause excess of stress. Sometimes you can have a bacteria in the stomach called Helicobacter pylori that can cause both the stomach ulcer and it can also cause a cancer of the stomach. You know, many of our elderly people take painkillers. They may have a headache, they may have joint pains, and they would take painkillers like ibuprofen or they would take a diclofenac. Remember, whenever painkillers are taken, they should be taken after meals, never on an empty stomach. And in case somebody keeps on getting burning, when they keep on taking painkillers, etc., they should take an antacid together with the painkillers. I'm coming to another stomach problem. This was an elderly person. His main complaint was indigestion. He said, Doctor, I don't feel like it. The moment I eat small quantity of food, I'm already full and I've been losing weight. Remember, this is not normal. There is something wrong. And to find out why he could not eat, we did this endoscopy. And look what we find. Can you see this ball-like thing in the stomach? This is called as the cancer of the stomach. Remember, Goa has among the highest incidence of cancer stomach in the entire country. We see about 10 to 15 cancer stomachs every month. And what are the causes for this cancer of the stomach? Number one, many times when we go to the hotel, our children want to put extra salt on the food. They ask for the salt shaker. Excess of salt can corrode the stomach. Please desist from that habit. Excess of barbecued food. Excess of pickles, especially in case the pickles are spoiled and they go to fungus, they can result in a malignancy in the stomach. Not having a diet with adequate fiber and fruit can also result in a cancer of the stomach. The bacteria which can cause an ulcer, that's called Helicobacter pylori, can also result in a cancer stomach. Smoking and excess alcohol and Goans have got a high incidence of stomach cancers because we have a habit of having pickled and salted fish and meat. It's a delicacy, but remember, this dry fish, dry meat which are salted, on a long term, they can predispose you to get cancer of the stomach. We have finished problems of the food pipe. Below the food pipe comes the stomach, and now I'm coming to the intestinal problems. Now, this was a 47 years old male. His complaints was, he says, Doctor, I pass hard stools and there's a blood in my stools. Now, to find out why there's blood in the stools, we did one more endoscopic test known as a colonoscopy. We put a camera from the rectum and saw the entire large intestine. It's a 10 minutes procedure. And look what we find. You see where my arrow is pointed, that's a polyp. Now, polyp is a swelling which can result in a cancer. Luckily, he had come in time and we just caught it with a snare and chopped it off endoscopically. This is called polypectomy. We see about 4-5 patients with polyps every month, which we chop off. So remember that colon cancer does not come just like that. It usually starts as a polyp, like what you're seeing in this photograph. Another intestinal problem. This was a 60 years old male. He complained of constipation and weight loss. He said, Doctor, I can't pass stools. My stools is very infrequent. I sometimes pass after 3 days, 4 days, and he had got a weight loss. Now, to find out why he was not able to pass stools, we did the colonoscopy, and look what we are finding. Can you see this lump? This is cancer of the colon. We see about 10 colon cancers every month in Goa. Why does this colon cancers happen and can we prevent? Having a food which has got excess of oil or fat, whether you are vegetarian or non-vegetarian, that's one cause. Excess of red meats, that's called beef, pork, mutton, they're called red meats. Trying to have them daily, they can increase your chance of getting colon cancer. A family history of colon cancer, there can always be a chance in the siblings or in the relatives to get it. Smoking, alcohol, or if incidental polyps, the polyps can become big and they can one day result in a colon cancer. Colitis, especially ulcerative colitis, 10% people can get colon cancer, and many times women who have got breast or ovarian cancer, they can have a second cancer, which usually is a colon cancer. So colon cancers are preventable, and it's a shame if somebody has to die of this nowadays when we can diagnose them at a very early stage, at a poly stage which can chop off. And it is recommended, at least in the West, that anyone more than 40 years should undergo an annual colonoscopy, especially if there's a family history of chronic malignancy. I'm coming to gallbladder problems. They are rampant in Goa. Now, the usual gallbladder problem, what we see are stones in the gallbladder. How does a patient with stones present? Most of these people don't have any symptoms. They have gone for a routine health checkup. The doctor has asked them to get an ultrasound done, and the ultrasound picked up the gallbladder stones. But 5 to 10% of people can have symptoms. So they can come with either pain in the right upper abdomen, they can come with jaundice, or sometimes the stones from the gallbladder can obstruct the neck of the gallbladder, causing cholecystitis, inflammation of the gallbladder, or they can obstruct the pancreas, causing pancreatitis. Now, how to avoid gallbladder stones? Number one, fried and oily foods we have to restrict. Cheese and dairy products we have to restrict. Pasta, white bread, red meats, oral contraceptives, and too much of barbecued foods. It's a good habit to drink a lot of water, and obesity is something we have to avoid. So these are the ways: drink adequate quantity of water. I'm coming to a patient with a gallbladder problem. This was a 43 years old male. He came to an Ayurvedic doctor first with jaundice and itching. Doctor gave him some medicines for the itching and jaundice. There was no improvement. Then he came to us. We did an ultrasound which showed that one of the gallbladder stones had come down, slipped down into the pipe called as the common bile duct and blocked it, causing jaundice. So we removed the stone endoscopically by a technique called the ERCP. So we do about 15 ERCPs to 20 ERCPs every month, and at least in 15 of them we have got people who have got stones in the bile duct. And this is an example to show you how we can remove a stone endoscopically without surgery by a technique called ERCP. Now, how to avoid getting this gallbladder stones? Now, if it's a hereditary, it's unfortunate. But for the rest of us, it's important to remember there's something known as a white trash diet. Excess of sugars, white bread, pasta, pastries, and soda, we have to restrict. We have to increase the intake of vegetables, fruits, and dietary fiber. Avoid crash diet. Restrict foods which are rich in saturated fats like pork, ribs, bacon, salami, and dairy products. Replace fast foods with homemade foods and stay away from processed foods. It's a good habit to put turmeric or ginger in the food because it aids in digestion. Avoid prolonged fasting. And birth control pills can also aggravate a chance of having gallbladder stones. I'm summarizing how to avoid gastrointestinal and liver problems. If we have to drink alcohol, it has to be in moderation. For a man, 2 drinks per day. For a woman, preferably don't take a drink, but if you have to drink, 1 drink per day. Smoking, definitely there's no limit. There's no question of smoking. It's bad. It causes multiple problems, not only on the GI, it can cause heart attack, it can cause strokes. Fast foods, we are going to limit the amount of fast foods what we have. Red meats, we have to limit the amount of red meats. It's a good habit that all our food should have adequate quantity of vegetables and fruits. We have to exercise every day, some type of exercise we have to have. Avoid excess of stress, and when indicated, we have to come for procedures in case we have got the symptoms what I have mentioned. Thank you.
Question.
Question from Mr. Bimsin. I am more of a wine person and consume a glass before meal. Will it affect my liver? If you do not have cirrhosis of the liver, it is not going to affect your liver. You can have a glass of wine. In fact, many studies say that a glass of wine may prevent things like Alzheimer's, may prevent dementia, may prevent heart attacks. So it's not going to harm you. You can have a glass of wine a day. Another question from Lakshman. What are the foods that can help to keep the liver healthy? Actually, there is nothing called as a liver specific diet. The more important thing is we have to have a balanced diet. Having said that, it's important that excess of sugary things, excess of fatty foods we have to avoid, excess of alcohol we have to avoid, because these things can damage the liver. Question by Mr. Ramesh. Is there any foods that can reduce the absorption of alcohol by the body? See, theoretically, they say having a food first and drinking alcohol later may slow down your absorption of alcohol. But really, there is no specific food which is going to inhibit your absorption of alcohol. Question by Mr. Ronald. Does acidity cause stomach ulcers? Now, acidity means a burning in the retrosternum. That is the cause for reflux. The second question is what causes the stomach ulcers? So we have got a number of causes which can cause ulcers in the stomach. One of them is smoking. Second is drinking. Third thing, taking painkillers or aspirin. Fourth is a bacteria called Helicobacter pylori. Excess of stress, excess of pickled foods can cause ulcers in the stomach. Question by Mr. Pinto. My father is 70 and complains of constipation very often. What kinds of food will help him to have a regular motion? Now, constipation in an elderly is a very common problem. Important that he has to have a high fiber diet. Make sure that he has adequate quantity of vegetables and fruits. Maybe you have about 2 bananas or papaya every day. Drink adequate quantity of water, about 2 to 3 liters of water, and go for daily walks, exercise every day. So this is what he requires in diet. Question by Pratiksha. Does having bath after dinner affect the digestion process? Definitely no. This is where old grandmother's tales. Don't take bath after food. But you can definitely take bath after food. It's not going to affect your digestion. Question by Mrs. Anaya. I have observed that during menstruation, my stomach bloats, which causes a lot of uneasiness, and I pass a lot of gas. Why does it happen, and what should I do to reduce the uneasy feeling in the stomach? Now, getting a gas and menstruation has got no connections. They may be coincidental. To reduce the gas, we have to reduce food which causes gas, like having a food which has got excess of fat or sometimes wheat-based products or milk. Milk, they say 70 to 80% of us Indians are lactose intolerant. That means the moment we drink milk, our stomach bloats, a lot of gas comes out. So it's important that we reduce milk, avoid dairy products or wheat-based products, and to reduce the discomfort and pain, we can take things like a Meftal spas, or we can take things like a Mevaverin 2 times a day. Question by Ben Ling. Tell something about erosive gastritis. Erosive gastritis means having small ulcers in the stomach. Now, these things usually occur on taking painkillers like Brufen, diclofenac, indomethacin. Many of our people have got joint pains, they've got headache, they take painkillers. Many of people have got a heart problem, they take aspirin or they take clopidogrel as antiplatelet agents. So these things can also damage the stomach and they can cause pinpoint ulcers in the stomach, which are known as a erosive gastritis. People can come with abdominal pain, they can come with nausea, vomiting, sometimes, occasionally, these people come with vomiting. So whenever someone has got erosive gastritis, we start them on proton pump inhibitor like pantoprazole or omeprazole or lansoprazole or rabeprazole. Question by Victor Gracious. Does eating spicy foods aggravate GERD? Yes, definitely. Eating spicy or citric foods is going to aggravate your reflux and you have to reduce them or preferably stop them. Thank you for the patient hearing.